In this video, we will be making a column graph with standard error bars. So I have pulse rate data for males and females. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and insert a column here so I have some room to make labels. I'm going to calculate the average of the male and female pulse rates. I'm going to calculate the standard deviation and the standard error. So to calculate the average, I would first tell Excel I'm going to enter a formula, and I do that by putting an equal sign. And Excel already has the formula for average built in. You just type the word average, then you open a parenthesis, click and drag your mouse and highlight the male data, close the parenthesis like you see here, and hit enter. Do the same thing for the female data. I would hit equals, the word average, open a parenthesis, highlight the female data, close the parenthesis, and I would hit enter. Boom, just like that. Okay, standard deviation, same thing. Equal sign, and we tell it we want to calculate standard deviation. In Excel, the abbreviation for that is STDEVA. So equals STDEVA, open a parenthesis, highlight the same numbers you use for your average, close your parenthesis, and hit enter. For the female data, we click in the same box, equals STDEVA, open a parenthesis, highlight all of the data for the female column, close our parenthesis, and hit enter. Okay, now we need to calculate standard error of the mean, and to do that, unfortunately, Excel does not have a built-in formula, but we still start with an equal sign. And if you recall, to calculate standard deviation, to calculate standard error, we divide standard deviation by the square root of the sample size. So we put an equal sign, and then we take the mouse and we click the standard deviation that we calculated for the male column. Then put a divide by symbol there, so divided by. And now we have to calculate the square root of the sample size. So there are 10 male samples there. We would type in SQRT, that tells Excel to calculate the square root. Open a parenthesis, put the number 10, and close the parenthesis. So once again, equal sign, click on the standard deviation, divided by the square root, which is SQRT, of the sample size in this case, which is 10. And you put that number in parentheses and you hit enter. Let's do the same thing for the female column. Equals, click on the standard deviation, divided by SQRT, and in this case there are 13 samples. Okay, so we've done all of the calculating we need to do to make a graph. What I will do now is I will highlight, I highlighted male and female here, and I will also highlight the average pulse rates for the two samples. And I'll go up to the top of the screen and go to Insert, and over here we have Charts, and this is going to be a column graph. I'll just select the first option here. Now there's a big space between male and female here. I could probably eliminate that space by deleting that column between them. That moves them a little closer together. So notice we have a chart title box here. Delete that. Do not put a title in a biology graph. Okay? Over here, this plus box is what you're going to click on to add axis titles and error bars. So if we click on axis titles, it allows them to show up. We can click right here. We can put sex down here, and over here we can say pulse rate. How about, even to be more specific, resting pulse rate, and the unit, BPM, beats per minute. Okay, we have our axes labeled. Let's go back to this, and we'll go down here to error bars. Now I just clicked error bars, and error bars magically appeared, but they're not correct. I need to go to more options right here. Click that. It'll bring up all these options. Now if I go to the bottom, it says standard error. It's selected on standard error, and that might sound like a really good idea, but don't click that. It doesn't do it properly. It doesn't calculate things properly. We need to go to custom error bars, and then you click on specify value. Click. Okay, So we have two boxes to input our positive and negative error bar values. So first, I'm going to click on this box next to positive error bar value, and I'm going to highlight both the male and female error bar data, the standard error for both male and female pulse rates. Then I click this little box again. Then I click the box below that for negative error bar value, and I highlight the same two numbers. So highlight the same two numbers as you did before, click the little box, and click OK. There. Now we have male and female average heart rates and their error bars. So what you could do now is you could copy that graph, paste it into a Word file, and then type in a caption, and that would complete your figure. I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching.